Sexual assault is not just a crime of violence against the body. It's an assault on the very essence of human dignity and safety.
I don't like it, and I know the devil when I see it.
The trauma of the assault has taken a toll on my mental health.
The two sex workers are sharing their encounters with Diddy with the feds on suicide watch at the Metropolitan Correction Center in Brooklyn. The music mogul's mental state is unknown, but being placed on
Combs' alleged conduct, quote, sick, and calling him, quote, a predator.
Allegations of sex trafficking, racketeering, and violent abuse paint a shocking portrait of a mogul whose life behind the scenes allegedly contrasts with his glamorous public persona. With federal investigators unravelling claims of underage victims, freak-off parties, and a potential criminal enterprise spanning decades, the world watches as Diddy's legacy hangs by a thread. Sean "Diddy" Combs, once a towering figure in hip-hop and business, is embroiled in a sprawling legal crisis that continues to unfold. Facing federal charges of racketeering and sex trafficking, the mogul has pleaded not guilty but remains jailed at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center as he prepares for his trial scheduled for May 2025.
A U.S. judge has ruled that the rapper and producer Sean "Diddy" Combs will stand trial on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges in May. He'll be held in prison until then. Sean Combs has pleaded not guilty to charges that he used his business empire to transport women and male sex workers across state lines to take part in recorded sexual performances. If convicted, he could face a life sentence.
The allegations against Combs span decades and involve claims of sexual assault, abuse, and exploitation, with several lawsuits and federal charges painting a troubling picture. Here's the latest on Combs' legal battles and the new twists shaping his case.
The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us, with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean "Diddy" Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases.
Adding to the growing pile of lawsuits is a recent filing by Ashley Parham, who alleges she was violently assaulted by Combs in 2018. Parham claims Combs attacked her at a private home, threatening her with a knife and subjecting her to humiliating and violent acts. She alleges the assault was retaliation for a comment she made about Combs' rumored connection to rapper Tupac Shakur's death.
The suit claims Parham met Shane Pierce at a bar in February of 2018 and that he FaceTimed Sean Combs. The suit states, defendant Shane then showed plaintiff defendant Diddy on his video call, which plaintiff ignored, stating she was not impressed by him, knowing defendant Diddy because she believed defendant Diddy had something to do with the murder of rapper Tupac Shakur. The suit goes on to say defendant Diddy heard plaintiff's statement and made a remark that plaintiff would pay for her statement regarding Tupac and overall dismissal of defendant Diddy. Then the next month, Parham's suit says Shane Pierce invited her to his home. On March 23, 2018, defendant Shane invited plaintiff over to his home to assist him with his cancer medications because he stated he was weak and unable to open his medications. Then the suit claims Sean Combs arrived with Christina Coram, his bodyguard, an unidentified woman, and another man. The suit says defendant Diddy entered the home in a grand, ready-to-party manner. His grandiose entrance was so loud that the dogs upstairs began barking. The suit claims Combs threatened Parham with a knife.
Reports of Combs' extravagant freak-off parties, allegedly costing up to $500,000 each, have emerged as a focal point in the case. Witnesses describe these events as drug and alcohol-fueled gatherings that often involved underage individuals. Singer-songwriter Tina Wallace recently recounted seeing suspicious behavior at a 2018 party.
I don't judge people. because at the time I was just smoking weed. But you know when people are out of their mind, and you know when people, you know what you don't want to be a part of. And it's just like, I'm seeing stuff that you see on the movies. This corner, this got going on. This corner, they over here doing this. This corner, they over there having sex. This corner, I'm just gonna say, because I don't know what I can say, because I'm not trying to be incriminating myself, but they were dressed up like little Harajuku Barbies.
Like what?
Little people, okay? We're not gonna say what type of little people, but like a fetish. And I'm looking like, what are they doing here? Like dressed up, little red lipstick, like they weren't supposed to be there. But I'm just looking like, maybe it's some type of production going on. But why would they be at this party at 7 o'clock in the morning with grown people? Like, why would they be here? So I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, but then when I'm looking in this corner, this person laid out, and I'm looking like, what's going on?
The event, held at P. Diddy's house, included numerous celebrities and Instagram models and featured wild, chaotic scenes with heavy drug use, public sexual activities, and rampant misconduct. According to her, guests' phones were confiscated to prevent any recording of the event. She recounts instances of unwanted advances from Combs and others. The experience left her traumatized.
And you did say this, what, like 2 years ago?
Exactly. And I told you I got sex trafficking vibes from it. Remember? I was like, he was trying to sell us. The Prince to Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Which one do you want? Which one? I want that one.
What does it feel like to be peddled off like that to somebody powerful? Is it?
It's scary. It's scary because what could happen, but it's like, come on, you know, I'm honored to be
chosen.
Chosen, period. But I don't want to be. I don't want to end up in a ditch somewhere, you know, just
no,
because he's choosing so many people and assaulting people. I don't want to be assaulted, and I don't want to be filled up. If you're going to fill me up, make sure you ask me, can I touch you? You know, you're beautiful. You, not just you in my house so I can. And I'm like, this is weird.
Her story aligns with recent allegations against Combs, who has been in the news for various scandals, raising questions about the darker side of the entertainment world. Combs' legal team denies these allegations, dismissing them as sensationalized and categorically false.
You know, Dr. King called it the law of unintended consequences. So sometimes the more you push a person down, the stronger they get. And so he's making an adjustment. He had his family here today to support him. We really want to put an end to all of the clowning that we see on the internet. This is a serious proceeding with serious consequences, and all of us are addressing it accordingly.
Anthony, is it a racist proceeding, as Marcus said?
Nobody's okay with staying in jail for now.
However, federal investigators reportedly possess video evidence from these parties, further complicating Combs' defense.
He could be hit with a superseding indictment, but you would imagine that after investigating him for quite some time, if these allegations are true, why he wouldn't be hit with a charge related to minors. Because I'll tell you one thing, while his defense team is saying currently that their defense will be everything was consensual, including these freak-off sessions, when you involve a minor, consent is thrown out the window.
Combs' time at the MDC has been fraught with challenges and is currently on suicide watch. Reports suggest Combs is in solitary confinement to protect him from potential threats by other inmates, as his celebrity status makes him a target. Sean Combs, facing sex trafficking and racketeering charges, is making a third bid for bail.
Sean Combs is not giving up on his fight to be released on bail as he awaits trial on sex trafficking charges. His request for release has been denied twice, so he's hoping the third time will be a charm. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering and sex trafficking charges. He's been in custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center since September. In his new filing, he's calling the government's case thin based on the evidence his lawyers say they've received in discovery. Combs says he needs to be released on bail because the conditions at the MDC where he's being held just aren't adequate enough for him to prepare for trial. They cite a recent sweep of the MDC where drugs and weapons were seized. That didn't have anything to do with Combs.
Mr. Combs' release on the proposed conditions is necessary so that he can review the discovery and prepare for trial. Despite the MDC's best efforts to facilitate the defense team's needs, the current arrangement makes trial preparation impossible, as evidenced by the recent multi-agency sweep of the facility and resulting lockdown.
Sean Combs has been denied bail primarily due to concerns about him being a threat to the community and potential witness intimidation. Larry Levine, a former federal inmate and now a prison consultant, is skeptical of Combs' chances for bail. According to Levine, Combs is no exception to the system, despite his wealth and status.
Your first thoughts on this latest request for bail from Sean Combs?
It's not going to happen. Why should they give him bail? See, he thinks he's special. He's just another inmate. That's all he is. Doesn't matter if he has or had billions of dollars. He's a record producer. You know, they're holding him in there because they're concerned. I don't want to say afraid. The feds are concerned that he may threaten people who are victims, do, undue influence. I read that he put a new bail package together. So what? There's nowhere in the world that he could hide. So it's not a matter of him being a flight risk. It's a matter of him being a threat to the community.
Levine dismisses Combs' complaints about detention conditions, stating that it's not meant to be comfortable. Levine believes Combs' legal team is pushing for bail, primarily to earn money, knowing that his release is unlikely.
These lawyers, they know he's not going to get it. What is a lawyer's job? A lawyer's job is essentially to create billable hours. So that's what they're doing here. Puffy is desperate for obvious reasons. He wants to get out of custody. So the lawyers will sell him a bill of goods, charge him, I don't know, $5,000 an hour, $10,000 an hour. Who knows? Then they'll have 2 or 3 paralegals read it. That bail motion could cost $50,000. So they're selling him a bill of goods, putting together a bail motion that they know isn't going to happen. I mean, we've seen this before, haven't we?
He notes differences between Combs' case and others, like Michael Jeffries, as Combs faces more severe allegations and multiple potential victims.
Well, I don't believe this other guy, Jeffries, was playing with 9-year-old children, was he? I don't believe he
this
has.
Is an allegation.
I didn't follow that case, but were there 120 plus victims? No. Were there children? No. I mean, this guy's a chomo. That's a prison term for all the viewers here. Chomo stands for child molester, okay? They're the most hated people in any prison next to informants.
One key witness, Courtney Burgess, has testified before a federal grand jury, claiming he possesses flash drives with explicit footage from Combs' parties. These drives, allegedly linked to Combs' late ex-girlfriend Kim Porter, reportedly contain videos of intoxicated participants and underage individuals.
He says he was in possession of a trove of digital evidence from Diddy's freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter. And if you follow this story, you'll know that Kim Porter is Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast before he told the grand jury today.
The ongoing federal investigation has sparked speculation about additional charges. Meanwhile, prosecutors in Los Angeles and Miami are reportedly exploring charges against Combs, suggesting that his legal troubles may extend beyond New York.
There's really no deal that the U.S. Attorney's Office can offer, and it's certainly not one that Diddy will accept. It would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking about mandatory minimum sentences of 10 years for both the drug charges and the sex trafficking. So we know that Diddy has fought charges before. There were state charges, there were gun-related, the nightclub shooting with J-Lo, but He's going to dig in his heels, and this case is going to trial. So if you're prosecutors, you really want to make sure that your evidence is bulletproof before you go down that route.
Talia Graves, alongside attorney Gloria Allred, emotionally recounted a violent assault during a recent news conference. According to a lawsuit, Graves was lured to the studio, given a spiked drink, and brutally assaulted after passing out.
In her lawsuit, Thalia, through her attorneys, sues Sean Diddy Combs, also known as the defendant, and another individual and other entities. The complaint alleges in part, in the first cause of action, that defendant Combs and another defendant committed a, quote, violation of New York City Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Act by viciously and violently forcing sexual contact, oral sex, and sexual intercourse on the plaintiff, end quote. In addition, the complaint alleges in the second cause of action that defendant Combs and another defendant committed a violation of New York civil rights law, quote, section 52-B, end quote, by, quote, raping plaintiff and recording it. Defendants caused plaintiff to be depicted in a video image, unclothed and with intimate body parts exposed, and engaged in sexual conduct with another person.
In 2023, Graves discovered the rape had been recorded and distributed without her consent. Graves delayed coming forward due to alleged threats from Combs.
The violation I have experienced during the assault has had lasting effects on my body, causing ongoing health problems and complications. The combination of physical and emotional pain has created a cycle of suffering from which it is so hard to break free. I want to continue on this journey towards recovery and healing. I'm glad that he is locked up, but that's a temporary feeling of relief.
The allegations against Combs have sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, tarnishing the reputation of a man once celebrated as a visionary mogul. His case highlights broader issues of power and accountability within the industry, echoing other high-profile scandals involving figures like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein.
And we are there again. And it reminds me of Harvey Weinstein in a way, but more troubling on a level. How? Epstein, Weinstein, Diddy. What is the common thread? People with power through access, wealth, which helps connect to power, who are able to do shit that we find not only frightening and disgusting and illegal, but perverse. And the perversity matters. Weinstein is not just allegedly another rapist, but it was a culture. You know, the casting couch, you know, we've all heard of that. This is what makes that boogeyman so real. And there are two added layers. One is, and everybody knows, and there are a lot of people that you know and care about, but they've never told you, right? And then there is this, and it's always been okay until now, right? Those are the ingredients: Epstein, Weinstein, and now Diddy.
For now, Combs remains in custody, fighting to clear his name while federal prosecutors continue to build their case. With a trial date set for May 2025 and the possibility of additional charges looming, the stakes could not be higher for the embattled mogul.
Morning, Michael. Sean Combs is now facing nearly 36 civil lawsuits. This latest one's a little different. It does not allege sex assault, but an assault with guns.
This morning, a man is suing Sean Diddy Combs for $5 million to compensate him for what he alleges was an armed confrontation. DeWitt Gilmore says he was leaving a New York City club in 1996 when Combs and his associates pulled up in a gold convertible and started taunting him with derogatory language and threats of violence. His lawsuit says the music mogul's associates flashed guns and shots were fired. Representatives for Combs did not immediately respond, but they have denied all of the other civil lawsuits that have alleged sexual assault. The woman who filed one of those has now revealed her identity after the judge rejected her request to remain anonymous. Candace McCrary was 19 and in college in Brooklyn when she alleges Combs sexually assaulted her after a photo shoot.
This decision by this judge may have a chilling effect in that other people who want to go anonymous in their lawsuits against Sean Combs may think twice in terms of filing a lawsuit themselves.
More money, more problems. It's just the way it is.
As the legal proceedings unfold, Combs' career and legacy hang in the balance, leaving the public and industry insiders watching closely for the next chapter in this high-profile case.
What exactly is Diddy being charged with?
They recovered surveillance videos, they recovered cell phones, they recovered computers, electronic devices, as well as guns, and of course the baby oil, and all of this.
I've been waiting for baby oil to go back in stock, but yes.
Most importantly, what people need to remember is that, look, the feds are going through all of this surveillance footage and they are conducting their investigation, and based on that, they have seen a lot. So in terms of people talking, shut your mouth. You do not know what the feds know. You don't know if you are in those videos. You don't know whether you are a part of these criminal acts. So I would suggest shut it up.
I am seeing all over the internet a whole lot of people are talking about what they saw at the party, you know, if they worked for him.
Making themselves witnesses.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. That's it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the stories that shape entertainment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.